Greetings again, good people. This is Mac Audina with 11 kilometers per second. So real quickly, I'm using this blue snowball microphone. Hopefully the voice and the volume is coming in a lot better. We bought this. I may have said this in another one, but who knows which episode you're actually watching. In any case, first and foremost, I'm going on. Thank you for joining me. I feel like this is kind of like a fireside chat. I want to thank all of the folks that have commented on the video I posted the other day about, what men have to deal with. Got a lot of positive comments. I appreciate that. Vulnerability. Vulnerability is strength. This is not the topic of the day, but I wanted to and I might have to do a whole episode on that, but vulnerability is strength. First and foremost, practicing vulnerability is practicing exposure of any of the insecurities that you have. And so if you put it out, then you don't have to be, hiding behind anything and be worried about how people see you, because ultimately how they see you don't matter. Somebody said, whenever you're worried about somebody else's thoughts, you're saying what they think about you is more important than what you think about you. And what you think about you is, if you're getting up every day and putting up the effort, then you can be proud of yourself. Life is about self-respect. In any case, I was going to say that this blue microphone that I have here, it used to have a base right here, and I have no idea where it is. It's in a pile of stuff somewhere here. I may have to go and buy another one, but hopefully my voice is coming in loud and clear. All right, so I know you guys, your time is valuable. All of our time is valuable. It's short on this earth, and so I don't want to waste too much of it. And so I want to make sure that I'm not rambling as much as I feel like I want to do. But wanted to thank you guys. Somebody described last week's episode as like having a conversation that you can participate in. And so I want to let every one of you guys know, not only can you participate, I encourage you, I would appreciate if you participated, because it helps the algorithm if we got comments and things like that. So if you feel like you want to respond, either, because you agree, or because you want to add something that wasn't included, or because you disagree, I welcome it. I can promise you that, I will respond. And if you disagree, or if you want to add something, listen, I am having a conversation, and so it's not necessarily going to be precise. And there are some things that are not going to be in there. And so I may be able to elaborate with the comments that I have. And, if we have completely different views on things, I'll present my side, you present your side, and then we'll walk away that way. In any case, what do I want to talk about today? I want to talk about embracing the feeling of being out of place. And I wanted to use the feeling of being out of place, as opposed to the feeling of discomfort, because you can feel discomfort is so broad. And although it is good, like you can feel discomfort physically, you can feel discomfort. It's a broad word that describes just not feeling like at ease and, at yourself and things of that nature. And so I wanted to differentiate that between, like, when you are in a place that you are new to, that you want to go, where you want to grow, where you want to become. Because like Michelle Obama says, we're constantly becoming. Hopefully you're becoming whatever it is that you envision yourself to be. And I think that's, part of respecting yourself is constantly moving forward and, trying to be better, trying to reach perfection, even though it's unattainable. But because you put in that effort, you feel good about yourself every day. So, when you decide to go and grow in certain places that you don't yet know, you naturally have to feel uncomfortable. You don't know it yet. You don't know these people. a lot of times it's like, again, the fear of judgment comes in. It's like, what are they thinking about me? Are they my kind of people? Are they thinking that I don't know what the hell I'm talking about? Are they saying, here are the ways that we behave, and he's behaving like this, country bumpkin, ghetto, arrogant, or not arrogant necessarily, but yeah, that could be arrogant, but I was thinking more like bougie or something like that, nerdy, whatever it is that you're like, I'm being judged for, because I don't know this place, I haven't been in this place, or you're trying to learn something, because you know what, that's why I don't wanted to draw a distinction in discomfort too, because like when you're learning, like book learning, or you're in the course learning, that's gonna cause some discomfort too. That causes, and ultimately, I want to put that all of the discomfort in the bucket of pain, because at 11 kilometers per second, we say there are two biggest things that hold you back. One is fear of judgment from others, and then the other is avoidance of pain, or excuse me. You know what? Let me make sure I don't forget any of my points. So I'm going to pause real quick, and then I'm going to come back, and I'm going to get my computer so I can reference it. Give me 1 second. 1 second. All right. Bang, bang, bang. All right. Pain. That's what I was talking about. Okay. So pain is, how do I describe pain? Well, damn, I'm probably going to have to use discomfort, like anything that causes you any discomfort. Okay, no, I'll describe it like this. Anything that your mind and body has not yet become accustomed to, that does not cause pleasure. All right, so this is extemporaneous. I'm doing this off the top, freestyling this right now. I have an idea of what I want, but I haven't fully formalized it yet. But if you have some I guess exceptions to that definition, you can tell me. I can potentially make it a little bit more defined. So in any case, so pain is anything that you're not yet accustomed to. So it's not something that's become a habit, that is not like, your body's automatic natural pleasure things. So it doesn't release dopamine. And there's a video that I'll talk about, and it might be this one, that talks about what dopamine is, or what I believe dopamine to be ultimately. And if we get to that point, then I'll talk about it. But in any case, pain is whatever does not release dopamine. It's not like your natural responses to pleasure, but you haven't been habituated to it mentally or physically, and so now your body has to freaking learn it. And we don't want it, like, again or not again. Well, in another video, but in this one, your body, like, we are in conflict with our natural biological programming, like spiritually. You want to say, the thing that makes us more than robots is that, we have some sort of programming that is above and beyond, what our bodies are telling us. So like, our bodies want to survive. Somebody was calling. I don't know if that was going to cut off my audio. I need to put this on. I might have to just put this on airplane mode. Here we go. Should have did that before. I want to take you through that imperfect process, though it might take your time. So I'm going to consider editing that out. I also like this to be authentic as well. So again, like, we're having a conversation, so I may keep it in. Any case, what I was saying is that pain is something that, so, okay, our biological responses. All right. So our biological programming says that all we need to do is survive. And that means expending as little energy as possible, right? Like, you expend too much energy, that could lead to death. And so, like, what I want to do is just float around. But then we also have a equally compelling, if not even more, not equally, definitely more compelling need to, well, maybe not more compelling. Some people actually end up not doing anything. But anyways, we have a compelling need to, like, have purpose, to go out and thrive as opposed to just survive, to go out and become whatever we want to become. And to me, that's what, differentiates us from robots. Like, we are fighting against our programming for whatever reason to do the things that are contrary to our survival. We're going to spend energy because we want to accomplish a certain thing, a certain feat. And so when you're learning, that is what happens. You're going through some sort of pain, but you need to get there to get to the next level, to advance. All right. And so there, the thing is, as much as we avoid pain, I think the reason that is because, the program is very blunt. Like, it's not really sharp. It doesn't differentiate between the different kinds of pains. It's like, oh, this pain is good, or like, it's by design. I kind of think that we are designed for the game of life. And the game of life is, the things that actually are like make you feel good are the exact things that are going to kill you and are not good for you. So this book that I'm reading, or that I've read, is called The Glucose Revolution. I recommend it for everybody. It just tells you about, like, sugar in all forms are essentially like spikes in your blood sugar, and the cells is exactly what actually kills the cells. Like, it makes you grow older. Like, it gets more, the cells get more beat up from spikes of sugar. And that's the thing that makes you, like, sugar tastes great. It's one of the things that releases dopamine in your brain. Also, like, working out is tough. A lot of people don't want to do it. We'd prefer to just eat sugar and lay down all day. But if you work out, you are going to, you're going to last longer. Your body is more fit. Like, do the research, man. Like, also, not eating all the time. I fast. I have a 16-hour intermittent fast system because you're not supposed to be eating all the time. Your body is designed precisely to benefit off the stresses that it gets, but the stresses are what we are also trying to avoid. It's so interesting. But like I'm saying, this is a game, and we are This is a game, and we're made to avoid pain because it could also lead to death. I talked about, like, the paradoxes of life. Like, we live in a world full of paradoxes. What you should, like, it's like you should be doing one thing that is also the complete of another thing that you're supposed to be doing. So, like, trying to chill and trying to have fun and all that good stuff is also in contrast, or in what's the word? It's against the idea of, maybe it is in contrast of you actually growing and becoming better and all that good stuff. And so that's one of the paradoxes of life. And so yes. Okay. So the other thing that I want to talk about here, though, not the other thing, actually, part of, I want to fully delve into, like, pain. I think also, like, you have to understand, and I'll tell you why I want to go in this direction after I describe it. Okay. So we also enjoy pain, to a certain degree. Like, here are some extremes to show you exactly why I say this. Okay. This is extreme, obviously. But it just shows you the various different continuums, like, that we live on in terms of human beings and our ability to have different kinds of feelings. All right. So pain. Some people cut themselves because they want to feel, right? That's pain. for most of us. But they want to feel alive, and people cut themselves. Like for to get sexual arousal. Like that's sadists, no, masochists. Masochists are people who just love, get sexually aroused from being in pain during sex. So that's another example. But even like something as simple as like the narratives that we choose to hold on to in our lives, like the things that are causing us stress, the anger we feel towards somebody, the resentment we feel towards somebody, the fact that we're like constantly telling ourselves that we're not good, and torturing ourselves with these mental things. Like people hold on to those feelings, like, cause it's comforting. It's part of what says, okay, at least I know this, I'm familiar with it. And so that pain has become comfortable. That's the same type of thing that happens with a lot of different pains. Like it's like you become habituated to it, depending on how you view it. And so the reason why I wanted to say this is because depending on how you view it is very important, because I want us all to understand that avoiding pain is because we don't understand the perspective that this is a game. Like, you actually have a very short time on this earth. Like, my mom died a couple years ago, and it just continued to reinforce the fact that this life is short and that we have to freaking live and experience and appreciate every moment. Like, even the painful pieces are things that eventually you won't get to feel anymore. You are in this physical body, and you get to experience a whole bunch of different experiences. And yes, because the pain is put in as an indicator of something not being right? Like physical pain is like, oh, there's damage to your physical body. Something's not right. And it's so sudden or whatever. And so you want to do something about it. Or again, like, you're expending way more mental energy on this than I'd like to. And all I want to do is survive. They are still feelings that you get to feel from being alive and being part of this, whatever the heck this experience is. And so, it's important to understand and appreciate all of it. As hard as it may be, especially if you're talking about, acute and chronic pain where it's completely, but like it happens suddenly and it's very severe, or it's like it's long and there's no real reason for it. It's very hard for you to get that mindset, and hopefully you don't have to go through that. But like, we're talking about like your normal mental pains from growth. You have to appreciate it. And again, to remind us what this topic is about, since I've been meandering, is you got to embrace the feeling of feeling out of place, which is a pain that we are, that we're programmed with. And I like to explain all of these things because, as I said, the other time, it took me so long to understand what my issues are. And I feel like if you're in the dark about what the hell is happening, you have no idea what to do, or you're like, damn, is this normal? And you're like, I don't know what to do. Or, because you don't know whether it's normal, you're going to try to do all kinds of things to try to get rid of it. Whereas if you're like, oh, this is exactly how I'm supposed to be feeling, which is the point of this, you'll be like, all right, that's fine. And that's the point. So I was at an event. This is what brought on this topic actually is I was at an event, and as with any other event, like, I'm coming in, I know that there's performance involved, which means there's some level of judgment, at least in my own head, of people, what they're going to be thinking. And like, I'm like, oh, I don't know how to behave. I feel like I'm performing well. Like, I'm not talking in the way, I'm not responding in the way that I should, or the way that I would like to appear. And then I was thinking to myself, you know what? This is good. This means that I'm growing. That means that I'm doing something that I haven't done before. And that's the only way to get to the other side, is to go through that. If I wasn't going through this experience, it means I was remaining stagnant. And I know the direction that I want to go. I know that for this year, my big word is promotion. I want to do a lot more of promotion. We may have to do a video on lead generation and promotion. And so, And so, I felt like, yeah, this is exactly what I should be experiencing. And I embraced that. And that allowed me some form of comfort in that as well. So that also helps to take away some of the pain that you're feeling when you're like, okay, it's good. I understand. Mind, calm down, brain. It's all good. And so, yes. So you're here to experience the feelings. You are not here to chill. Your body is made. You are expressly made. Like when you go through something, like when you take an ice bath, your dopamine level increases. Like it shoots up. Your body is made. The game is made for you to experience stress. You have been lied to. You've been banned by your own self, by your brain. When you think that you have been lied to, man, by your own body, by the world, because they've also been lied to by their own bodies and things. And everybody's like, you get to a certain, like you're working to get to a certain point to make a certain amount of money and then you chill. These people who freaking, like you look at them like, they are trying, like they still are remembering the old days. Like people you would think, all right, yo, you've reached all kinds of levels and there's no other need for you to be like, you could literally like just chill. Not only have you made all the money in the world, you also have gotten all the fame and all the love in the world. The Michael Jacksons that just keep going and they just also feel bad and shit like that. And all the folks that you can think of, they keep on going because I think they understand that, it's always what's the next mountain that I have to climb, but also because they understand, or sometimes it's because, they realize, I started chilling and life became shit. Like it was boring. I didn't know, there was nothing for me to do and I was bored again. That's the game. You are here to experience. All of us who are like trying to make it think it's you get to there and then you chill. But like if you look at all the other people who's made it, they're still struggling is not the right word. They're still in hustling is also not it, but they're still striving. I guess is a better word is still striving. And so you have to understand like this is a game. It seems it's designed the way that it's designed because you don't want to jump into a game of Super Mario Brothers and not click the arrow button to move forward. That's what people think. Like you get to a point where you just, stop moving Mario. Even after you've beaten King Koopa, or you've gotten to one level, you got to get to the level of King Koopa. After you've beaten King Koopa, showing my age on this game, even though Mario Brothers is classic and still relevant. In any case, you beat the first one. That doesn't mean you stop playing the game. You're gonna look for the next game. Sonic the Hedgehog, whatever it is that you're gonna play, you're gonna do the next one because that's how it's designed. Like people talk about hell being a burning lake of fire. I can, from my perspective, like if you're in a burning lake of fire and you don't die, eventually I feel like you'll be like, I'm adjusted. I guess this is it. This is what it is. This is life. I mean, because if you think about it, a whole bunch of people are just living in pain. Like some people actually are not healthy at all and they're living in pain, but they're living life like they don't even realize that until they get healthy. And so we adjust because the idea is we need to step it up to the next level. And so, your life, like, again, there's another way to think about it. Like if you think about all the times you call the good old days, you were stressed as hell out of your mind. Like when we were young and when I was young and I had to deal with one thing or after another. And, you were dealing with people who were, stressing you out, whether they were, you felt like they were betraying you or you were fighting with folk when you were young all the time. Like these are the times we're calling the good old days, but there were also the times that we were experiencing a lot of our joys. These are the times that we remember as moments because we were striving. We were trying to get somewhere at that point, and it's because we were told that's when you should do it. And then somebody says you should stop doing that at some point, and they lied to you. Society has lied to you. So no, it's not here. You're not here to chill. You're here to, for every single second that you have the privilege of being on this earth, to strive, appreciate that feeling of pain that comes with the striving, get the attainment of whatever reward you're going after that's motivating you. But be it clear, the reward, for some people, like once you get it, it's like, ew, that was it. Like, oh my God, they feel some people actually get depressed. Adesanya, the mixed martial artist, talked about like feeling pain after he like feeling like depressed after he won, because it's like, it's not all this, like the pursuit itself is what is there. And even if you feel good for a moment because you celebrate that time, you're going to go drop back down to baseline, to normal again, because your body needs the next thing. So when you have that understanding, then you can then always go back and say, yo, this feeling that I'm having is what I'm supposed to be having. Embrace it. You don't belong. Embrace it. You're trying to get to the next level. Embrace it. You feel like these folk are going to judge you because you suck. Embrace it. You're not going to suck for long if you keep on coming back. The other thing I want to say, I want to make sure I don't leave this out, is, if you like, even a lot of the things that we consider fun, like, especially when it deals with like social things, like this is why a lot of us are quote unquote introverts. So we go and stay in our house and we're looking for things that we could do on a computer. I also think this is why like IG is good, because you get to, or watching movies is good because you get to have the experience, or you get to get the feelings, which is what we're looking for, without actually going through the experience, right? Like, you're living vicariously through folk. Like, you're thinking about the feeling, you're recalling having felt it, and you're living vicariously through somebody else. And so we watch movies for that, we hear stories for that, we go to IG for that, but then we also are doing it from the comfort of our home. Nobody sees us, nobody is judging us, and all this other thing. And it can never be as good, but we avoid the pain because we haven't learned to accept it. And embrace it, in fact, and say, yes, this is part of the feeling I'm supposed to feel, and I appreciate being able to feel it while I'm alive. And that's part of why, like movies and things like that, we get enjoyment from it. IG and this stuff, it seems like whatever. And let me just quickly touch on dopamine. For me, dopamine is, they associate that with the pleasure neurochemical that gets released in your brain when you're feeling pleasure. They've described it as not necessarily pleasure itself, but like it's associated with pleasure. It's like associated with motivation. I look at it as the thing that you get when you feel you're moving in the right direction. We hate feeling confused. It's like confusion means, what the fuck can happen? Can I die the next day? That's, biologically, not necessarily intellectually or like immediately, but that's the reason why that comes. Like, if you feel like you're moving in the right direction, what's the right direction? The right direction for your body is always pleasure. And that's why you get dopamine releases when you're getting pleasure. Cocaine, meth, sex, pleasure. And so therefore, whenever you feel like you're moving in that direction of pleasure, that your body says, you're going to, again, all these things, at least sugar will kill you. And cocaine, obviously, and meth will kill you. But that's how your body is programmed to move towards the direction of pleasure. And so, whenever you feel like, so one of the ways that I describe this is like, whenever I go to the gym, one of the things that motivates me is afterwards, because your body like plumps up, it inflates after you work out. What I do every day after I go to the gym is I go look at myself in the mirror, because it's like, right direction. Look at that. This is exactly where I want to go. And that keeps me motivated. And so I know also one of the things that gets me depressed is when I wake up and I'm like, damn, I have no direction. I have no idea where I'm going. I don't know which thing I should be working on. And so when you do feel like, okay, this is what I should be working on, it gives you that dopamine. This is why they say also, try to have little wins. Whenever you're in a long journey for something that is going to take you a long time, you have little milestones and little wins that's going to help you to get that dopamine hit and that motivation. And so I say that to say, we get our dopamine hits from feeling the feelings that we want to feel and and hopefully avoiding the pains that we get to feel. And so here's one of the things that you need to understand. Like most of the things that involve social stuff involves pain because it involves fear of judgment. This is why the things that we are considering fun, the things that, were fun when we were like running around doing these sorts of things, going out partying, they were filled with social anxiety. And so that's why you will 9 times out of 10 folks that are getting together in a social setting are going to have alcohol to take away their inhibitions. And so why would you need alcohol if you already feel good and comfortable? You know what I'm saying? Like alcohol allows you to lower your inhibitions and allows you to behave in a way that everybody's like, oh, that's acceptable to everybody. Oh, that's the reason why they were behaving that way. Now you can quote unquote have your fun. But the truth is that there is pain associated with all of that. And you can't walk around drunk all the time. So know that the fun things involve pain. And so once you know that, you can embrace the pain. Embracing the pain allows you to do the things that's going to help you grow. First is lack of fear of judgment or fighting the fear of judgment. Second is embracing the pain. All right, that's it for the episode for today. Like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Appreciate your time. Bye.